Hey guys, well, what a start to 2020 it's been. So I just wanted to run through and really answer some questions that we've had coming in from landlords and tenants, in fact, about the situation and what's likely to happen and that sort of stuff. Now, in this thing, I don't really want to get into the coronavirus and talking about what our expectations are or anything like that. I've done plenty of videos. I'm doing a daily video specifically on the coronavirus. So what I want to say is, anything you want to know about that and my opinions on that and how long I think it's going to take and the research that I've been doing, and every day at 11 a.m. I'm doing a live stream on YouTube, so you can actually come to that, or you can go to the website either gladfish.com/COVID-19 or onboard.ezytrac.uk/COVID-19. Okay, either of those websites, they're updated with the same information. And they've got the same videos on there on the YouTube, which is Brett's Property Rants. So you can go youtube.com/ I think it's the letter C / Brett's Property Rants. And that should take you there. Now, look, sorry, I think it's user Brett's Property Rants. But anyway, you'll find it if you go and type in Brett's Property Rants into YouTube search engine, and you'll see that. So I'm keeping up to pretty much date with that stuff. So, and really what I'm trying to do there is be a voice of reason. There's so much stuff going on, and there's so many different countries at different stages of things. So what I'm trying to do is digest all that and come back with what I think will be happening, which is kind of what I do, on a day-to-day basis anyway. So let's talk specifically about things. Right. So first of all is payment holidays, okay, for mortgage payment holidays. You guys, if you've got a mortgage, you can call up your lender. And now there's a couple of things here. Call up your lender. You're going to have to wait in line because they're busy, okay, and ask them for a 3-month payment holiday, all right? Now, just say, that, you're in, the tenant's already asked you to, stop payments, but you're putting them on hold right now. If you need evidence or anything like that, we can sort that out for you. You can help that out. We're here to support you in any way we can, obviously. So basically, the payment holiday, call your lender and get that happening. So at least you know now up front, you've got 3 months of respite from that, okay? But understand that if you take that, all that's happening is it's getting added to your loan. So the interest portion gets added to your loan, and therefore you're going to be paying interest on that going forward, all right? So it will mean you pay more interest over the same period or the same term. So that's up to you whether you do that, okay? But the facility is there, but you're going to have to call, and there's a couple of things when you call. When you call up, okay, you don't want to say that you're in hardship. What you want to say is the tenant is in hardship, and they've already called your agent, and your agent has said, what do you think about this, okay? So you want to get this in place before you go back to them and offer them anything, all right? That's the approach you want to take. The second element is make sure that they confirm that it's not going to give you negative credit. Basically, if you just stop paying, that'll affect your credit. But if they agree it, and as long as they send it to you and you sign it and they change that, or if they just say it's done, then what I would do is I would send them an email, find an email for the bank, send it to them and say, I've just got off the phone, this is what we discussed, this will happen, blah, blah, blah. And if that happens, great, send that away. That's your evidence. So if you come and find that they do try and play silly buggers with your credit file, you can go to the court and say, no, that's wrong. No, you don't have to go to court. You'll go to them. Fix my credit. So that's the first thing, okay? So when you're talking to them. So do that, all right? Just get that peace of mind. Why not? It's there, for you because, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, all right? Now, the other side of the equation, which is the rent payment holiday for renters, it doesn't exist. Okay, there is nothing there. There's no provision there right now. What there is a provision for is no evictions, which I'll come to in a minute. Now, if a tenant is in difficulty and you want to give them some leeway because you've got some leeway in your mortgages, you can decide that. Now, as an agent, what we will be doing, and the way I've chosen, but you can change this because it's each individual, but the general statement that I'm going to say is the contract, the agreement stands. Okay, so we're not going to be altering that. And if they default, we'll be sending them all the default letters, going through all the process. The only thing that I feel, and we've got a script already, is that we probably shouldn't be charging the late fee, which the late fees amount to nothing anyway. It's 3% above base, so it's 3.1%. It's going to work out to pittance. So it's better just to give that and not give ammunition to tenants and shelter and these sort of, anti-landlord establishments. But if you want us to enforce it, then we have to enforce it, okay? But the reality is, I think that we can, forego. But we're still going to go through the process, all right? And once we've done the process, then obviously if it gets to the point where eviction is the next step, you won't be able to start that. It'll be placed on hold until 3 months is up, okay? So unfortunately, you may have tenants just not pay, but the reality is, even if they stop paying, you still are going to get it off them at the back end. There is no payment holiday. There is no free payment provision yet. That may come tomorrow, okay? But at this stage, it's not there, yeah? The other side is the eviction side, which you can't evict them. So we won't be able to, no matter how much you tell us to get them out and all that sort of stuff, we won't be able to proceed to an eviction, yeah? Now, what we're finding, there's a couple of things here. Number one is abandonment, okay? This is a real problem because what's actually happening is a lot of tenants have upped and left and gone back home, taken the keys, and they've just said, we're leaving. Yeah. Now, the problem is, unless they give the keys back or unless they give it in writing that they've left and they're not returning, we cannot enter that apartment, So basically, we have to go through an abandonment process. And that abandonment process ends in the courts. And let's face it, the courts are going to be inundated. So there is some serious issues here, potentially. We're trying to avoid them. We're trying to communicate with tenants, all that sort of stuff. But you got to realize there is, heaps of people's, lots of tenants ringing up saying, I want my payment free or tenant rent payment free holiday. And it's like, that doesn't exist. So we're going to explain to them. We're going to explain to them the ramifications. A lot of them think that they're getting free rent for that 3 months. And a lot of them think they deserve it because, well, you're getting a payment holiday, so why shouldn't I? Obviously that's not the case. But anyway, so abandonment is one thing. Eviction won't happen. Abandonment we may be able to get away with, but I imagine the courts just aren't going to be functioning and they're going to be so clogged up that could take time. All right? So there's some issues there, but we'll deal with them as we come, and as it evolves, because it's an evolving situation, we'll deal with it, okay? So the other side of it is rent and legal, okay? Now, I think this is something, and on over the weekend or on Monday, by Monday, I'll be sending you out an email, okay, which will offer you rent and legal. So if you want it, there's a form. I'll send you out the thing. Click that form, fill out the details for each property, and then we will get that started as soon as possible. Now, a lot of the insurance companies have already closed down the ability to add rent and legal. The other side of it is that you've got to understand is it's not necessarily going to cover you for this event right now because a lot of them have a 60-day exclusion period, all right? And, they're not really going to waive, just because you signed up today, they're not really going to waive the fact that the 60 days is there. So it may be that it doesn't apply, but it may be that after the 60 days, they will help you evict the person and it'll apply in that case, okay? So is it worth getting? It is worth getting. And at the same time, what we can do is Caroline and myself, we're going to be working really, really hard. I'm getting some of the other guys who, perhaps maintenance, because maintenance issues have dropped quite considerably, to help out with the moving everyone onto the new tier system that we've got. We'll be sending an email out about that as well. This will all be part of the same email, okay? So I think it's really, really important that you take some time to actually deal with this stuff because, it can save you in the long run, all right? Now, exchanges, what we've done with exchanges, I've just said, look, for the next 2 weeks, let's slow everything down and let's not push exchanges. So if you've got an exchange waiting, even though the developers are pushing it and all that sort of stuff, I've pretty much told them stop pushing, yeah? So we're going to hold off for 2 weeks, just see where we are in 2 weeks. If it's another 2 weeks after that, we'll work that out, all right? So rather than, knee-jerk reactions and all that sort of stuff right now and woe is me and the sky is falling in, rather than acting like that, let's just slow the pace down, take a breath, take it easy, because actually, I think that we've got about, I'm saying 27 days left. I've said, I had a 30-day countdown on this coronavirus, the actual virus part of it, and then the bell curve hockey stick, okay? Bell curve hockey stick, the forward bit of the bell curve, all right? So that's the thing. In terms of completions, we can't really stop those because really they're developer-led. And if the developer wants you to complete and they're due to complete, then it's likely to happen. But there will be some leeway if mortgages and have problems, or if we can't get solicitors or things like that. But it seems like, for the most part, actually, everybody's still open. most of our suppliers and most of the people we deal with have moved into the work from home environment relatively quickly. I mean, all our staff are already, we've been not preparing for this, but preparing the contingency plans for quite a few years. So where pretty much everyone's contactable, everyone's got the, working from home or working from the office if they want to, because the Lincoln office is still open, the London office is still open, but it's a personal decision as where they want to come in. We're doing all sorts of things like, we've got a Friday virtual lunch together, so the whole team is going to have lunch together in front of the computer through Zoom, which is quite fun. And each day we're doing a 9:30 meeting with the team, we're doing 5:30 emails, so we've got a real structure to our day, and I recommend that you do that. And one of the other things, Arlene, my wife, is putting together some resources for kids. So as of Friday, the kids are going to be home, and if you haven't ever had to experience kids home on a regular basis for a long period of time, which could be 2, 3, 4 weeks or longer, you might find, because remember, we're getting into where that would have been the end of the school year anyway, so it may well be that this is a long time. Anyway, Arlene's organised some resources from around the web that you can get for free and you can use to entertain your kids and that sort of stuff. So totally separate from the property side. Exchange and completions, yep, okay, good. Now, if you want to actually keep up to date with the coronavirus, there's so much stuff coming. You can jump onto my YouTube channel, and every day I do a live stream at 11 a.m. And basically I take what's happening in the news and data and I look at various aspects. And really what I'm trying to do is be a voice of reason, because I think it's very easy to lose your head in these things. And I'm, I guess it's my military background or whatever it is, but I'm very structured in the way I approach crisis or these sort of things. And so, that's the approach with these daily videos. They go for somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes, and we've covered various aspects. So if you want to go back, you can go back and see the evolution, because we cover topics each day that are of interest to you guys, okay, and that are in the news and perhaps aren't being reported. They're being reported in a sensational way, but not necessarily in the best way. Some people are worried about lending being pulled on mortgages. To be fair, there's a lot of liquidity, and this is, if I'm honest here, I'm speaking honest, there's a lot of liquidity and money being pumped into the system. Now, that is likely. Now, I think, make no mistake, the world has stopped. The world has stopped. Yeah, that's never happened before. So everything's on pause. So you're right. Everything is going to just drop, and property's not worth anything. Shares are not worth anything. Nothing's worth anything because you can't really trade it, very easily. Now, that's not entirely true, because you can trade shares, but the reality is, are they actually dropping price? Shares are. Property probably not, because try and buy and sell shares property now. But what will happen is when we get through this, which we will, 100% we will, and I think it will be shorter than longer, because I think, yes, the rest of the year is going to be shot. So if you had any plans for 2020, and what I'm saying is, 2020 is cancelled, they're going to be shot to bits. But I think what will happen is about 90 days will be the lifestyle disruption, or disruption, disruption. But 30 days, I sort of think, will be the virus, where we're actually heading up this cube, and then it will start to thing, and we can start easing it off. It's what China's done, it's what South Korea's done, it's what Singapore, and all of the models that are successful. And if you go to my second day and have a look at that video, you'll see the 3 main models of the coronavirus and how the response that countries have been making, okay? And that's quite interesting. But look, guys, gladfish.com/COVID-19, onboard.ezytrac.uk/COVID-19. They're the 2 addresses, and then you can go to my YouTube channel and just type Brett's Property Rants. I think, yeah, we've got that there. It's actually Brett's Property Rants, and look, I think stepping back from all that, I think don't lose your head, yeah? Obviously, you may have lost your job, and there's all these sort of issues that are faced with that, but I think the government will come through. I think, to be fair, if you looked at what happened with the budget before all this kicked off, they were willing to do a lot, and now they've gone much, much further. So the budget that came out, really, you can throw that bit of paper away, because now it's a totally new world, for the next, for the rest of this year, I think. But the reality is they're willing to do stuff. So I think today, later on today, there'll be a lot of announcements that might really interest you, and I think that's really important. The other side of it is that take this time, because obviously you're going to be at home with your kids, at home with your families. Take this time to spend some time with them. Take this time, not everyone's going to be, stupidly busy. I mean, like, I'm stupidly busy right now because I'm getting everything, planned and, videos out and all that sort of research. But actually, I've got, I think, 4 more videos that I want to do. And then I kind of am planning on having a bit of a free time to actually spend with the kids. Now, one of the problems is I'm actually in self-isolation right now, having travelled back from the UK to Singapore. So I've got to wait till probably Sunday when I'm, free of that. And then I can see the kids again. Well, we're in the same house, but we're sort of avoiding each other and doing our social distancing. But guys, look, that sort of gives you a broad range, broad strokes. Any questions you've got, you can send them through to webinars@gladfish.com, okay? In terms of if you want me to record videos, if you want me to give my opinion, if you want me to, have a look at what I feel is happening and, and what I think will happen, I'm more than happy to do that. I mean, that's really, for me, my commitment is to do, a couple of videos every day, keeping investors up to date with what's going on and really being the voice of calm, voice of reason through all this, because I think that's essential. There's so much media out there that is just sensationalizing and hyping, and I think some of our politicians are really not getting this. I mean, I love what Boris is doing with the daily briefings. I think that's fantastic. It's something that I've been doing with the business, and it's something that we've been doing on the YouTube channel. Look, it will subside, and I think for me, it's a V-shaped recession. When it comes back, all this liquidity is going to hit the market and potentially rocket us off. Now, a lot of people are talking, it could be as worse as depression and all that. I don't see that. I think the response to the virus has been pathetic. Most countries around the world failed. Yeah, they were so late coming. And if you watch that second video I did, you'll see what I mean by that. They weren't transparent. There were lies. There was denial. There was, it was just, and it was too late. So, the numbers have just gone ridiculous. So the most happened that. But the one thing they have done well, albeit a little bit late, and I think it should have been done earlier, is they have responded with, stimulus, and that will have an effect. Now, part of the problem with stimulus is that there is a sting in the tail. But you know what? That sting in the tail is off in the distance. Right now, stimulus is what we need. We need to put money into people's things. And that's what we need to do for you guys, and we need to do for your tenants, and we need to do it for the businesses and, all your entrepreneurs out there. We really need to do all that and get some calm and some, settling down. And really, it would be nice if they did provide that so we can all kick back and maybe enjoy our families for, a month. And maybe we reset the whole balance of, not working so hard and not being so focused on money and careers and advancement, and actually focused on quality of life. I mean, there's an opportunity here. It's a once in a lifetime and opportunity to really reset the clocks on what life should be like. Do I think it's going to happen? We'll see. But I'm not holding my breath, but certainly I'm going to take advantage of it, and it would be great for you guys to take advantage of that too, or get an opportunity to, if you can. But yeah, guys, any questions, webinars@gladfish.com, and I can record videos based on those. And then, basically anything else, you can speak to the team. They are getting inundated with emails and phone calls, and so that, they're working through them, but it might just take a couple of days to get through. Guys, stay safe, stay healthy, stay indoors, but hopefully we can really turn this around into a really positive. I mean, Brexit has been so soul-destroying as a nation. It would be good to be able to bring everything back, and actually, really show what the nation is about and what we're about as a human species, and I think that will be great. All right, guys, that's it from me now. Have a great day, live with passion, stay safe, and enjoy the time with your family, and hopefully, your jobs are safe, your business is safe, and hopefully the government comes through for us and actually can really bring this together and stimulate it and see us through. But yeah, all right, guys, have a great day. Live with passion. Can't shake the hand. Got to do the thumbs up or the fist pump now. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.